Hey guys, welcome to episode 3 of my Feelscrafter's Guide series. Today, we will be covering the brand new limited 5-star imaginary preservation unit, Aventurine. Timestamps will be included in the description for easy navigation, but I hope you stick around for the whole duration as it does help the video out in the algorithm. Let's not keep you waiting any further and get right into the guide. Aventurine is the most unique sustain unit that Honkai Star Rail has seen so far. Similarly to Japard, he provides a team-wide shield to your allies, preventing them from taking damage, and being a proactive measure compared to healing, which is a reactive measure. However, Aventurine shielding is easier to keep up, even in teams that constantly manipulate action value, since his shield is on his skill and is refreshed whenever his follow-up attack is triggered. In addition to that, Aventurine's shield can stack up to 2 times, making his shield tankier than Japard's. Aventurine also gives 50% effect rest to all allies when they are shielded, allowing all broken kill sets to be triggered without needing any effect rest substats. This also allows your allies to endure crowd control, greatly reducing the chances of your rotation being messed up by freeze or imprison, and reducing damage dealt by enemies who inflict DOTs. Let's start off with Aventurine's Relic Sets. He doesn't really have a 4-piece set, so he'll be using any combination of these 2-piece sets. 2-piece Duke, Wastelander, Pioneer, and Knight. If you're able to hit 4k defense without 2-piece Knight, you can opt for 2-piece Duke plus 2-piece Pioneer. I don't really recommend 2-piece Wastelander since it performs worse than Duke and Pioneer and its farming efficiency is really bad. Aventurine has 2 main builds. First is full defense, literally all 4 pieces using the defense main stat. Since Aventurine gives himself 48% crit rate at 4k defense, he can choose not to use a crit chest and still output similar, if not higher damage than a crit chest. The second build replaces the defense chest with a crit damage chest. This build will outperform the defense chest if you can achieve 4k defense with the crit damage chest. The reason Aventurine doesn't want speed boots is that it greatly reduces his damage potential. If you can hit 4k defense with 3 defense main stats, you might as well use the last main stat for crit instead of speed. The same reasoning can be applied to ER rope. More information about the ER rope will be discussed in the energy threshold section, so stay tuned for that. Not much to talk about here. First priority is crit, followed by defense percent on your chest if you're using crit, followed by flat defense. Speed is useless unless you're able to hit 123 speed without speed boots, since Ranmei will bring him to 133.6 speed, allowing Aventurine to go twice in cycle 0. Aventurine's best in slot option is Salsoto from mode 6, since it buffs both of his damage sources. Another option that I don't really recommend is running him on Fleet, Keel, or Penacone to buff his teammates. The buff that he gives your teammates won't outweigh the buff that Salsoto gives himself, so just give the man Salsoto and move on with your life. Aventurine's best in slot is obviously his signature Lightcone, inherently unjust Destiny. Destiny gives Aventurine 40% defense, and when Aventurine refreshes his shield, he gains an additional 40% crit damage. In addition to that, whenever Aventurine does a follow-up attack, attacked enemies take 10% more damage. All these buffs have essentially 100% uptime, since Aventurine triggers his follow-ups very often. Aventurine's next best in slot is S5 Concert for 2. Concert for 2 gives Aventurine 32% defense and 32% damage for free, a very strong 4-star option. The next best in slot is Moment of Victory. MOV gives Aventurine 24% defense and another additional 24% defense whenever he's attacked until the end of his turn. This means that the additional 24% defense will almost always be up whenever he launches a follow-up attack or uses his ultimate, since it lasts until the end of his turn. The free-to-play option, S5 Destiny's Threads 4 Woven, is also a pretty strong option, being only slightly worse than MOV. It gives Aventurine 20% effect rest and 48% damage. Quite simple here. You want to upgrade Aventurine's skill, followed by talent, followed by ultimate. All of Aventurine's major ascension traces are important, so there's no priority since you should unlock all of them as soon as possible. Without an energy regen route, Aventurine gets a 4-turn ultimate with 4 basic attacks and 4 follow-up attacks. It is possible for Aventurine to get a 3-turn ultimate with 3 basic attacks and 3 follow-up attacks if he gets hit 3 times. With an energy regen rope, Aventurine needs to get hit once to get a 3-turn ultimate. Not worth running at all. Overall, I do feel that Aventurine will be an extremely strong sustain with respectable personal damage output. His free team-wide 50% effect rest is also extremely helpful in maintaining proper rotations. A lot of people may think that he needs other follow-up attack users to work well, but that's simply not true. He's a perfectly good sustain and sub DPS that eclipses Fu Xuan and even Huo Huo in some cases. If you already have both Fu Xuan and Huo Huo, Aventurine's pulling value is a 4 out of 10. If you only have one of the two, his pulling value is an 8 out of 10. If you have no limited sustains at all, Aventurine's pulling value is at 11 out of 10. I'd even go as far as to say he's a must pull for any new players. Anyway, I've yapped enough for today. Make sure to check out my socials in the description down below. I try to stream 3 to 4 times a week. Schedule will be uploaded in my Discord server. Remember to like, subscribe, and leave a comment sharing your opinions on Aventurine. I hope you guys enjoyed today's content, and I'll see you around soon.